This video is unlike any other video that I have done. I am basically pleading with single mothers who have male children, small boys, or teenage boys, or tween boys, shall we say, to do the right thing. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. Now, this video is coming after the research that I've done and the always returning to this issue. I don't like pointing out the negative of things in humanity, and I know people in America think that this is something to do with black people. But what I'm going to show you is a video from the UK, the United Kingdom. I'm going to show you that they have the same exact problem. Here's my plea. If you're the single mother, and let's say you've gone through a nasty relationship with your significant other whom you have a child with. If you've had difficulties with your significant other and you were trying to be vindictive and try and make sure that he did not get custody of the child or visitation or any such thing, I want you to listen to me now. I want you, just for the male children that you have, I want you to put that aside, and I want you to sit down and discuss with him handing over your male children to their natural father. I know this is going to seem dramatic, and this is going to see, and a lot of you might just completely want to do away with it, but I'm telling you, without revealing anything about myself, I'm telling you that a boy needs a father. A girl needs a father too, but a boy needs a father to the point where a boy does not need a mother nearly at all. A boy does not need a woman. A boy needs a man. Point blank. So whatever you hear in the news about a woman can do it all, that is crap. That is complete and utter crap. A boy needs a man. I am begging you, I am pleading you, give your male children to their father, regardless of what you think, regardless of how terrible you think he is, regardless of how horrible his financial situation is. I don't care. Even if the court says no, I want you to hand him over. A boy needs a man. He does not need a woman at all. And I want you to look at this little clip that I have. I want you to pay attention to something that you're not even probably aware of. A male child in a single family home headed by a woman almost for 20 years has no male influences in the United States, in Great Britain, in his life. So let's take a look at this.
Liverpool has more children growing up without a dad than anywhere else in the country, according to today's report. Here in the Riverside ward of the city, 65% of households are led by single mothers. It all contributes to around 1 million children in England and Wales who are growing up without a father in their lives, according to researchers. Fatherlessness, says the report, can lead to higher rates of teenage crime, pregnancy and disadvantage. Not only are many children raised without a dad, some have no male role models at all. A quarter of primary schools, for instance, have no male teachers.
We've got this emergence of, in certain parts of the country, kind of men deserts where children are growing up and they don't really see many male role models through the younger years, and that's a growing phenomenon, and it's, we've got to ask ourselves a question about whether that matters, and we really believe it does matter.
1 million children in Britain are growing up with barely any male influence in their lives, thanks to the increase in single-parent families and the lack of male teachers at primary schools.
A study from the Centre for Social Justice found that in some parts of the country, 3 in 4 families were headed by just one parent, while 80% of primary schools have fewer than 3 male teachers.
Well, joining us from Gingerbread, a charity which supports single parents, is Caroline Davey, and Sean Bailey is a former special advisor to David Cameron on youth and crime, who himself grew up in a single-parent household.
I think it is having a bad outcome. I think if you're a government, you have to figure out at what point can you intervene in someone's household. Clearly, you cannot make a couple stay together. But I think financially, you can make a parent stay with a child. And there's policy levers you could pull on that. And if you're bringing up if you're a single parent raising a 14-year-old boy for a lady on your own, you will find that tough. There's no doubt that having an extra pair of hands, an extra pair of male hands, will make a great difference to that child's behaviour and then his outcomes in the future.
But because this report is saying, Sean, isn't it, that actually there is a real lack of male role models in the community for some of these children, not least of all in schools where there's a lack of male teachers?
I think it's important because the educational attainment of girls has been rising at a rate far higher than boys, and I think part of that is the feminisation of the education system, what these boys see, who they aspire to be. A teacher is a very powerful role model. It's just one example. But what really funds your life from an emotional point of view is what happens in your home. And if you have no male role model, you miss some of the lessons that a man would teach to a boy.
Okay, as you can see, the expert, which was the black guy, said that a boy needs a male figure, and especially when they're in that tween. So I'm saying 9 years old, 10 years old, sit down with your significant other and give the boy child, just the boy, not the girl, just the boy. The girl you can keep. It is so bad right now that there is a report that says single moms are doing stuff like trying to ensure that they have female children. So it has gotten to the point where some single moms are hating and visiting hate on their male children because they have been indoctrinated into this feminist ideal of how society works, and that women are so fantastic and women are great and all powerful. So imagine, let's say, so those are those reports. Let's say you're not aware of what you're doing to your son. You might actually be subconsciously hating on your son. I can attest to that. You need to give the boy over to the father. Point blank, no questions asked. Reduce the child support, obviously, because he now has the son. Do it. You need to think about the son. Don't think about yourself and how you want to get back, blah, 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 blah. And there are a lot of men who want a son, who want to take care of this son. If nothing else, the son. Hand over the son. Sit down and you don't know what he might not say. You're saying, oh, well, he doesn't want him. You don't know that until you sit down and seriously ask and say, if I gave you full custody of our son, would you take him? You need to sit down and have a serious conversation with him. Think about your son. You do almost nothing psychologically, culturally, and even life education for your son. You do almost nothing. I know the media tries to paint this picture that women can do it all. A man needs a man to show him how to be a man. A woman is never, ever, 0% going to be able to show a boy how to be a man. I don't care if you're the biggest butch lesbian on the planet. You have absolutely no idea how to be a man. You are not a man. You cannot be a man, and you cannot teach a man how to be a man. That's why I get highly offended at women telling men to man up. You don't know what it is to be a man. Shut up. Somebody needs to talk to you all this way, because the media is trying to do something underhanded for purposes that have nothing to do with you raising a male child properly. Please, I beg of you, I'm pleading with you, give up your male children. The girls you can keep. I know that there's so much bad blood and what have you, and you want to get even. Think about your male child. Think about your son. Think about, he goes to school and all he sees is women. He sees women at lunchtime. He sees women at first, second, and third period. He sees women driving the bus. He sees women. It's horrible. It is terrible. It is hateful to your son. It is making him feel culturally inferior. Think about your son. You know, you always see these love stories about the guy and they can't get married with the woman, and then the guy says, well, I'm happy that you're with her. And the other guy goes, what do you mean? She goes, as long as she's happy. That person is thinking of his love. He can't provide for her. The other man can provide for her. I'm telling you, you cannot provide for your son. I don't care how fantastic you think you are. You're 0%. In his life and upbringing, you're 0%. And why am I saying you're 0%? You think that's too harsh? Do you think I'm stepping out of my bounds? Do you think I'm going over the lines? No. I want to take paint thinner and erase all of this stuff that the media has painted in your brain to tell you what an awesome woman you are to raise a male child. You are 0%. You are hurting your child. You need to think of your son. Your son is what you need to think about. His happiness. And I don't know if you don't understand boys. Even if you walk into the house one day and the father and the son are wrestling and you go, he's only 9 years old. That's how boys behave. That's how we grow. That's what we do. The man in the video says that boys are becoming feminized. Education is becoming feminized to the point where one boy got thrown out of school for throwing a snowball and then was forbidden for even touching snow. This is how terrible and detrimental it is to boys now. I am pleading with you, give up your son to his father. The boy needs it. And no judgment from you of how terrible a father he is, or it doesn't matter, because the boy needs it. You are 0%. Get that through your brain. What's her name? Aldrich telling you that you're a woman and you can do it. No, you cannot do everything. You know you can't do everything. You know you can't be mom and dad. You can only be mom. You can never be dad. 0%. For a boy, you are nothing. Understand that? Internalize that? Now, go do the right thing for your son. After this video, call up his dad. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.